Hey everybody, I'm Tom Zaidel, and I'm going to show you how to build the frame for the robot, or its main body. So here you can see sort of an advanced form of the robot. I'm going to show you how to build the little popsicle stick frame that we use to hold everything together. Now you may notice that in the next few modules that we have the motors mounted. I'm not going to show you how to mount the motors today because we don't really need them until a later module. But just keep in mind those will be there, and we'll show you how to put them on shortly or later on in the course. So today, I've got a more minimalist form of the robot there for you to see. Okay, so again, we have a couple springs and some popsicle sticks, and then 2 zip ties we're using to attach the battery. Okay. So all you need is right here in front of you, 5 craft sticks. These are all 6 inches in length. You can find them at any hardware store. Got 2 zip ties, and we've got 2 conical compression springs. Okay, these form sort of the legs or the feet of the robot. So the very first thing I need to do is I need to cut some of these popsicle sticks to the right size. So I need to cut 6 pieces that are 1 3/4 inches in length. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And we're back. Okay, so I've cut all the pieces there, and I also need to cut a piece that's 4 inches in length. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just show, I'll measure it out on our original robot here, but we need a piece that's 4 inches in length to be the main center axis of the robot. So I'll go ahead and cut the piece now. All right, I'll keep the other part of this, the scrap of this piece, as a glue spreader, okay? And I'll show you how I use that. So let's go ahead and take the center part of the robot and lay down the first crossbar here like that, and leave about 3/4 of an inch there, sort of hanging over the edge, and try to center it as best you can. Okay. Then take 2 of your shorter pieces and stick them in between. Take 2 other shorter pieces and stick them in the back. Okay. So this one will be the top. This will go on top here. Now there's one thing that we need to do before we start gluing, and that's to cut out small little support pieces, okay? So we'll cut a thin strip to go on either side of the robot here, right in the middle near the end. Okay, so this kind of divides the little circular part in half. And this gives us something to twist the spring around when we screw it in to the bot. Be very careful when cutting these small pieces. A lot of little piece of wood will fly around. Okay, like that. And then I'll just break these by hand. These supports in the back are just that. They're just supports. Okay? So that's what the body looks like. And in order to glue, what I do is I pick up the piece, put a thin bead of glue on it. Okay. Then I take my spreader and I sort of make it a very thin layer of glue across the whole thing. And put it back and hold it for a few seconds. And let's go ahead and speed the video up while I glue the rest of the pieces here. Okay, now that everything's glued down, I'll go ahead and add one extra piece here, and this is to help mount the MSP430 launch pad. You'll see how this works in a little bit. I just dropped the glue. Uh-oh. Okay, now that everything is glued together, what you should do is try to hold everything very tightly for about 6 seconds. Making sure everything is really pushed down. Okay, this will help the glue sort of set and all the pieces come together. And then we really just have to wait for the glue to dry. So just let it sit and put a book on top. I recommend this book right here. So I'll go ahead and slide it on top. Just let it sit there and keep everything flat while the glue is drying. All right, let's go ahead and check in on progress of our drying. Looks like everything's in one piece, so let's go ahead and finish this off. So first, let's put the springs on. So the way that we attach the springs is that we find this part here at the very top, and we sort of bend it away from the rest of the spring, okay? And what you need to do is sort of screw this around that little wooden piece, like you're kind of screwing in an actual screw or a bolt, okay? And once you make it all the way around, you can pull that part all the way under the popsicle stick, and that gives you a nice little force fit for that stick. I'll go ahead and do the same for the other spring. Like this. Okay. Okay, now that the springs are on, all we need to do is add the battery. Okay, so to do that, we have to go back to our zip ties, and we'll grab a battery here. Okay, so what you do is you place the battery on, and then you take your zip tie and place it on like that, and just make a little loop with it for now to start, okay? Make a little loop, and then once you've made the loop, put the battery on back in its place and start pulling. Pull till it's somewhat tight, and then you've got sort of your battery in place. Go ahead and do the other zip tie real quick. And again, I'm just doing it all around the battery. And then pull it tight. So pull it a couple notches so it's nice and tight, and then you can snip them off. There you have it. This is the body for our robot.